It's been one of the bloodiest periods in St. James. 200 people murdered from January 1 to September 27.
MoBay turn up.
We need better policing.
Families left scarred, residents scared, and the authorities scrambling to implement solutions aimed at putting a cap on the devastation in Jamaica's tourist capital.
You can't catch Kwaku, you catch him shot.
This is Mission MoBay Rescue. We're on assignment in St. James. It's the culmination of what the authorities regard as the deadly lottery scam. Fraudsters fighting for the spoils and illicit gains from a scheme through which foreigners are tricked into sending hundreds of millions of dollars to Jamaica for lottery winnings that never were.
St. James has been having a lot of murders for some time now. My first time in St. James was 2005, and I believe the murders for that year was about 160. It was 10, 11 years ago. Lot of scamming was not as prominent as it is in those days. And so the situation has become more complex over time.
Over the years, it has mushroomed into a thriving activity in St. James with deadly consequences for double-crossers and their families, financed the purchase of guns and drugs, and created even deeper social divisions in districts like Granville and Glendavon, Irwin and Mount Salem, all desperate for development and social upliftment.
That situation, coupled with a culture of reprisals, and I would like to say wanton reprisals, because very often when there's a reprisal, the actions are indiscriminate. So you can't catch Kwaku, you catch him shot. And sometimes the shirt just have to come from the community.
Okay.
You understand? So they'll just drive by in the community because Kwaku is from that community, and they will shoot widely. In their minds, that appeases them.
According to police statistics, up to September 27, 2016, the murder tally for St. James was 200. That's more than the 156 people slaughtered between January 1 and September 23 last year, and even more than the 104 people killed over the period in 2014. It's a harsh reality for the people of St. James and a huge challenge for the police.
When I tribal one, it wasn't like this night. I we never used that tribal get more and kill it like that. But maybe I turn up because young boy in the school and not with them, and they with them scamming and them mafia business in a partial. Right now, we're afraid of MoBay.
We attribute the amount of guns in St. James and elsewhere on the island to the guns for drug trade. We know that gang members, like a lot of scammers, feel empowered, and therefore when they have the proceeds of scamming or drug trafficking, a gun seems to be the first item they equip themselves with. And because there is so much proceeds flowing from these illegal activities, then there are a lot of guns and ammunition that goes with them.
The government, they made the police force to me, and still the police force can't do too much while they can watch them diplomatically. Even this man right a Captain Baker, they were inside, and no way and St. James Street and Parish, not one police on patrol. This man, and I have witness about it, this man and a man go come and shoot a man and go scam me. Not in one police and in carry 1,000 police and carry me, I put it in a St. James and MoBay. Part
of our tactic is to remain unpredictable, and so it's the best kind of security. You know, very often when you are visibly deployed, the criminals can observe you and do something else. The problem is that it's difficult to be everywhere at once, and so we shift resources to areas of priority and we shift them back. So it's very dynamic. It is true that very often the numbers in the town are not at the levels that we would like.
The St. James violence has made life hard for residents and for law enforcement authorities trying to counter the terror being unleashed on the city. In communities muted by fear, citizen cooperation in crime fighting is an elusive dream. But the police say they will continue to chisel away at the problem that sends shattered spirits to bed amid the frequent beats of bullets echoing in the distance.
I suppose you're battle hardened after 30 years in this job, so it's really not overwhelming to me.
But what about the men and women under your command?
Well, it's my job to see to it that they are not, and to keep them motivated.
I know that police putting out 110% and seeing people dying left, right, and center, making your efforts seem as though they are nothing. That is, in and of itself, a great source of stress.
The month ago, maybe last 5 years, we recover like maybe over 100 guns every year. But due to the illegal activities that are taking place in the parish, they have a lot of guns. Guns are very expensive and they can find the money and go and buy them to replace them whenever you take them away. And they have high-powered weapons which are not cheap. And most of them, they are gravitating towards the high-powered weapons. So, again, when you go out there and face with those circumstances, you have to just put your training into practice and just hope at the end of the day, you go home safe.
We are saying to people that if you have family, friends, whoever they are, your neighbors who are involved in any way, you need to assist the police to get them. Because today is somebody else, tomorrow it might be you or somebody close to you.
The National Security Minister took to the Parliament on September 28, announcing new measures for St. James. A joint police military operating center in Montego Bay, increased numbers of police and military personnel in the region, increased intelligence assets in the area of operation, and the serving of all warrants and summonses in the police stations within 2 weeks. Curfews have been imposed. Cordon and searches have been implemented. At the same time, the St. James Police Division is to be split in two. The anti-lottery scamming task force has been revived, and a telephone number set up for citizens to call in confidence to share what they know. The number is 952-4396. Promoters of events with more than 1,000 patrons must have in place CCTV and metal detectors. 40 trained dogs are coming from Cuba to help in gun and drug detection, and 200 more JCF graduates are to be stationed in St. James by the end of December. St. James stakeholders have welcomed the new anti-crime measures, but there is still reservation about their sustenance.
Now, if it is not state of emergency, a limited state of emergency, that's what I advocate for. What is the option? What is the option? The option within the law that can really be considered.
I still think even without a state of emergency, which we don't have now and may never have, we need better policing in St. James. Very strategic policing.
I am for one. At one point I was saying that there is the need for a state of emergency. I think what is troubling is that the citizens feel that there's no trust in the police force, that they're I think rights are going to be trampled on, and that is the belief of most Jamaicans. That's the reason why we would not want a state of emergency. The truth be told is that the message that is being sent to our partners in the US and Canada is far worse, and I think if we were to send a message that we are doing a state of emergency to solve the problem, I think it might send a better message. That was my first opinion. The reality of it though is that They read the newspaper every day, they see the headlines here, and that's the reason why they don't want to come in. I didn't have to tell my client what was happening here, but they didn't know the gravity of it when I had to send home some of my employees. The reality of it is that a state of emergency might say to them, send the message that we are doing something about it. Because the truth be told is that we are seeing different headlines every day that things are being done. But the truth be told, that's just talk. I don't see real action put into place.
Downtown Montego Bay and the Hip District would be blanketed with police, both uniformed and undercover. Simultaneously with the raids, etc., that would be carried out in the inner city area. We cannot bring 200-300 more police down here and pull them out after 2 weeks because we're not killing 15, we're only killing 6. There must be consistency with policing. And I think if it's strategically done, we can still have positive answers to it.
And that's it for Mission MoBay Rescue, a special assignment coverage on the violence in St. James. I'm Damian Mitchell.